In this video, we will see how to create an MCP server and integrate it with GitHub Copilot chat. So I have this GitHub Copilot extension already installed in my VSCode and it comes free. So you can toggle this chat icon and you can start asking some prompts, or if you have some files, you can ask it to directly edit. If I have, for example, a text.txt, I can directly ask it to add some basic content in this file. So it added. Now this is the basic capability that comes from the underlying model GPT-4. If you want to extend the capabilities by adding some features like it can have interaction with DB or some API, in that case we create MCP servers for adding those features. So in this case, let's create a basic one. There is a icon called configure tool. You can go to that one and scroll down to the bottom. You can see add more tools, add MCP server. I'm going to say command, and it will ask what command you want to run. So let's say I want to run dir command to list all the files. Hitting enter, giving the default name, keeping the workspace available in this workspace, runs locally. So you'll notice it will create an mcp.json file. It has a command dir, but it will say dir in enoent. So it's basically not able to find this command because dir runs under command cmd cell, so it will not run directly. Instead, if you want to run the dir, what we can do, we can keep the command as cmd, and instead in args we can give /c and then dir. So let me save this. So it is stopping and we'll have to restart. So let me restart this. So see, when I restarted, it did try to run this command cmdc dir, and it found all the files that are there in this folder. For example, this test.txt will be able to see it listed here, just like how we run the dir command outside in this command line. It is running that, but the responses that it is giving this command is not as per the MCP protocol, so it is failing. So server exited before responding to initialize command. So this is how we create, but we need to have some command that actually responds in a particular in the protocol that MCP understands. So this will not work. So this was just a demo one. I will show another example. So just like the CMD, if you have some script, you can have node, and let's say I want to run a file named server.js. I can run that as well. I will create a server.js first, and let's say I'm just doing some console.log, some basic console.log. Okay, so let me try this. Now if I save this and do a restart, you see it logged whatever was coming from this application. So it ran node server.js and it gave it this output, but it is still not in the protocol. The response that is coming is not in the protocol that it expects. So for that we will need MCP SDKs. So I have this another repo. This is the one. This is from one of my repo, and I will share the link of the repo in the comment. So here I have a server.js. It has some dependencies that is coming from @model context protocol, which is MCP, and its dependencies are this one, model protocol context protocol /SDK, this particular version. So it has some boilerplate code for creating a server, then all the tools that our MCP server will have, or all the capabilities that we are mentioning here. So it has three tools. One is greet, that just greets a name, whatever name you provide. Another is calculate. Another is weather info. Weather info is a dummy one, just based on whatever city provided, it will give some dummy responses. This is the list of the tools that it provides. It is passing this argument list tools request schema, which is again coming from the SDK types.js. If we scroll down in that server that we initialized at the top, it is defining the call tool request schema. In that, again, it is having the greet, which will have its implementation. The type, it is responding, returning this response. The content type is text, and hello, whatever r.name was passed. Nice to meet you. For calculate, it does uh, calculate it by using the eval command in JavaScript. Then in case of error, it returns in the same format, but the error, and then weather info is some hard coded for some of the cities. So let's test this one. So this mcp.json, you can see it is running just the same what we saw in the older one, node server.js, but in this case server.js is returning the response in a particular format that MCP expects. Okay, so coming back to the chat, let me open this chat. So you can either enter the name of the MCP server. For example, it was my node MCP server, so I can find, if I start typing by hash my node MCP server, I can interact with it, or I can interact with a directly particular tool. So I have three tools: greet, calculate, and weather info. So let me do a greet devices. So it detected that it needs to run this command, name devices, name is passed, that will be used there. As you will say continue. So this was the response. Hello devices, nice to meet you. This is a collapsible section. This was the actual output. Hello now devices, nice to meet you. If I use the calculate hash calculate, sorry, calculate, and then I can give some expression like 23 multiplied by 67 plus 98 divided by 45. So again, it is giving me a confirmation prompt. I can just click continue. This will show me what expression it sent, and this was the response. Result of A is this one. Finally, the weather info. I can say hash weather info. Give me the weather of New York. City is New York. Weather in New York is 72 F. This was coming from these hard-coded values. Now, this is a basic Node.js file. So instead of these hard-coded, we can implement an API call that does an actual weather API and gets the response based on the city that was passed. Similarly, the calculator is fine, greet is fine, but we can create even more sophisticated use cases or tools using this one. So yeah, this was the demo for this video. I'll share the link of the repo in the description. Thanks.